Hey guys, I'm Denise.
And I'm Lindsay, and we're born this gay.
Hello, welcome to our podcast. This is a podcast for basically LGBT content for everybody. So,
Yeah, we're here to give a little bit of advice, and honestly just let you guys know that you're not alone in this crazy world that we have going on out there.
So before we get started, just smash that like button right now. Just hit that subscribe, make the bell go blue. I think, or maybe the thumbs up.
Thumb up.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Go blue.
Yeah,
it really helps us
because
out.
I promise you're gonna like the episode. You just go ahead and like it now. It'll really help us out a lot, guys.
Yes. But speaking of this episode, today we're actually talking about sex.
Oh, yes.
So we heard you loud and clear. We had a sex episode come out a couple months ago, and it did really well. So obviously that's something that you guys kind of want to hear more about. So we are going to put our big girl pants on.
And we're gonna buckle down and we're gonna do this.
So
yeah, but it's gonna be good. I think we'll be able to maybe keep ourselves a little bit more put together.
I hope so. Yeah, we're 12. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'm pushing 12. By the way, I'm only 11 right now.
But yeah, today we're gonna go over a couple of things as far as sex in the lesbian world and how different it is, and then also give you guys, as always, a couple tips that we've came across, things that we've made mistakes on, and hopefully to help you guys not make those mistakes. So.
Yeah, really, just things that we look back and like, oh man, I wish I could have told my younger self that. All these questions that I had, like we know the answers now, so let us help y'all out.
Exactly. So first off, updates. It's been a really long time since we've posted, guys, and I'm aware of that. And most of that has to do with the fact that we had a lot of big events happen. I got married.
She got married.
So, yeah, I got married.
How exciting.
Had the wedding. Did a honeymoon as well. So the honeymoon is what we just had a big break on, and that's kind of the reason it's been so long since we posted. And I was in Europe for a month.
And man, so, Denise is really good about putting stuff on her Snapchat story. So every day I get a 30-minute lunch break, and I would sit there on my lunch break eating my turkey and cheese sandwich, and I'm just watching Sam and Denise just live their lives out in Europe. And it was really awesome to see you guys just get to experience everything and just immerse yourself in the culture, and just
it was great.
It was very beautiful just from looking at it from your phone's perspective. So I can only imagine how much it was just hit you in the face went there in person.
Yeah, accurate. We ended up going to 5 countries in Europe. We started in Greece and ended in Iceland, and just kind of took a plane ride up all the way, and it was really awesome. We made it a point to try to at least incorporate a little bit of LGBT into our thing. So of course in London we stopped by their famous gay street next to the Harry Potter street, which I
didn't even
enjoy.
know.
Yeah. So apparently, we originally were going to Gay Town because I was like, okay, it's the weekend. I think it was Sunday. I forgot what we were supposed to go see the Shard. So it's kind of like the Empire State Building or the Space Needle or anything where you get this big high view of the city, right?
Right.
Every big city has one. So London's was the Shard. We went to go see the Shard, or do the view from the Shard, and enjoyed some time there. And then after that, I'm like, okay, we're in the city. I know Gay Town's like 20 minutes away, or a 20-minute subway ride. In Texas, we don't have public transportation, so that was new.
It's a little bit different.
Well. Yeah, very, very much. But appreciated it. Thank you, London, for having a public transportation system. It was awesome. But yeah, went to the Shard, took a train ride, and then took a train ride to Gay Town, and wow, do they have a street?
Really?
Yeah, literally just gay pubs just lined up the block. I was very impressed. Unfortunately, it was Sunday, so we visited around 10 o'clock on a Sunday, which means everything was closed because they're much like Texas, where we just shut down everything on Sundays very early.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get to take advantage of that. However, we just happened to be walking around just to explore and found out that, the Harry Potter section is literally like the theater section and the gay section are basically intertwined
Okay.
as far as the streets. And
Yeah.
in the theater section, Harry Potter is a big thing in London.
Of course.
Which makes sense.
Of course. Yep. Yeah.
So we got to see that. They have a whole statue, and Sam got to buy a wand.
Yeah.
And things.
Yeah, I own a couple of wands
myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
But they're from the Universal Studios here.
That's still because it's Harry Potter World, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Like
sounds
wow,
fun.
that was what a trip, man. We'll have to go over that another time. But, yeah, no, man, y'all's honeymoon just looked so amazing and just so full of love, and y'all just just like you guys had a really, really good time.
I did. So now we're back, guys. I did miss Texas. I did not miss the heat in Texas. I will
Hit you
be
like
honest.
a train when you get back here.
I felt so right now in Texas it's about 103 normal days. Like we're definitely three figures, but around 103. Some days it gets up to 110 or 110. 110. Which I just, for everyone in the rest of the United States, it's literally when you walk outside in Texas, it's the same feeling as if when like you open the oven and you stick your face down there to kind of see how your cookies are doing. Yeah, literally that heat, that blast. That's exactly what we get whenever we're walking outside.
Just outside the door, your front door. You got to get in your car, man. So you walk out the front door, you get hit with the wave. When you open your car door, it's a whole nother wave of heat. Like you didn't think it could get hotter, but your car is just an oven sitting in the sun. So if it's 110 degrees outside, it's 120 in your car. Easy.
And you're a lucky person. I'm assuming you have normal seats in your car.
Yes,
right?
I have like carpet seats almost.
So good. Yeah, Sam decided a couple years ago she wanted to get these leather seat covers on the car, and I was like, this is a mistake, babe. This is a mistake. And she's like, no, it's gonna look so good. It's so easy to clean. It's gonna be great. It's gonna make it.
I understand
like,
all
okay.
of that.
Yes, in Texas we reached 3-degree weather, so no, you're gonna scorch yourself. And now she's having issues. She sits in immediately, and it's like an instant like
burn.
I can't touch anything.
You literally burn every part of your body. And if you ever touch the metal part of the seatbelt, just go ahead and go inside, get you some ice. You're gonna be all right. I promise. I know it hurts, but just ice it down. It's gonna be all right. The blisters will go away.
We're in that we're in the state and in the season right now where you can literally, people think this is a joke, but you can literally fry an egg in the sidewalk right now. Like if you put an egg on your car right now,
it'll start sizzling
easily. Friday,
I'll have breakfast in 2 minutes.
Craziness.
Man.
But yeah. So I guess back to the episode of sex.
Wow. Yep, let's just do it. Let's dive on in. Guys, we're doing this for educational purposes, so that's what we're going to tell ourselves. And we're going to be very mature adults about this.
So Lindsay, as a mature adult, in your opinion, as most people ask, what is lesbian sex?
All right, so I think the basis definition of lesbian sex would be sexual acts being performed between two women.
Okay.
But then you kind of go into like what are considered sexual acts, and then like what is considered actual like sex versus foreplay.
Yes.
Or all the different words for it. But I think as much as like you can try to define sex down to like a sentence or two, like I think sex is different between every partner.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, so like for some partners, sex may not involve penetration at all, but it's still sex to them. And then to other partners, penetration is the only form of sex in their eyes. Yeah. I think it just really just depends on your personal opinion of it and just the partner that you're with as well.
Yeah. I would define lesbian sex, as just what the two people, y'all aren't gonna be happy with this answer, but what the two people in the relationship define it as. Like it's really up to them, because there's plenty of lesbians that enjoy strap-on sex, enjoy getting some type of penetration, enjoy dildos, enjoy vibrators. Yeah. There's a lot of lesbians that
don't want anything to do with that.
Only clitoral play is a factor. And some people also think of oral sex as lesbian sex, because I feel like everyone has like those tiers of things they're willing to do when you first meet someone.
When you think about straight sex,
yeah,
too, like oral sex would be considered foreplay to straight sex.
Accurate.
Yeah. But like for a lesbian couple, like that's like, man, that's top tier. Like you're there and you're having a blast. There's nothing better. Like that's,
which I've always found interesting, that oral play is supposed to be foreplay for straight sex, because I know a lot of guys who are not willing to do anything orally at all.
I can't say I've been in like a heavy or a serious straight relationship, so I haven't experienced the whole foreplay side of that myself, but I have heard that the man expects it more coming to him than vice versa,
than to give it out.
Yeah.
Like most people find that as like most men that I've talked to, not saying all men, but a lot of the men that I talk to see that as more of a deeper connection. So they'll do it after they've done the actual act of penetration, and they're like, I'm only gonna go down on
like as if the penetration is the foreplay for the oral.
Basically.
You just switched it.
Put that. maybe oral for women is the actual sex, and just a lot of men don't like to go there. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so like when you say what is lesbian sex, well, honestly, it's literally just sexual acts being performed by a woman on another woman.
So all right, so let's throw this scenario out there. I am a gold star. I've never been with a man whatsoever. I never plan on being with a man whatsoever. What would you consider me losing my V card?
I consider it, well, see, my answer has changed as I've gotten older.
Okay.
Like, growing up, just the environment that I was brought up in, like, there's nothing wrong with that. It was just what I saw on TV and what I was taught is like, in order to lose your virginity, there had to be penetration.
Makes sense. Okay.
But now as I get older, I think that your virginity is more of as almost a connection with somebody. Like it's not more so like a physical thing, but it's an emotional thing, because like there's a difference between having sex and then having an orgasm.
Accurate. Yeah.
So we could consider just having sex losing your virginity, or having your first orgasm losing your virginity.
You're right. Very, very different things, because if we were to decide to make it to where sex, especially in the lesbian community, only happens when you're when you're having an orgasm, which is usually, I want to say most lesbians kind of,
it's
count
the goal.
that as, however, if we made that the standard, then I'm sorry, heteros, there's a lot of women in the world who have never had sex.
Literally, or have never lost their virginity. Literally.
Exactly. It goes back to it. It really depends on what you consider sex. Because actually, let's bring it back. I know a couple, not a lot. I know a few women who have had sex, and I've heard their, I guess, popping the cherry story, right? The V card story, and they don't consider what most people would consider the losing their V card as their first time, right? They'll diverge, because some,
well, it only lasted like 15 seconds, like it was less than a minute.
Exactly.
Or, I didn't feel anything.
Exactly.
Yes. So there's so many different variations, even among straight women. So.
Or even before that, like it lasted 15 seconds, said I didn't feel anything. Or it can go the other way, where it hurt as soon as he put it in, and then that's where we stopped. Yeah.
So what actually happened?
Exactly. So
some good points.
Very ambiguous, no matter, I guess, hetero or homo ways.
Also, okay, let's go into, we talked about like what is lesbian sex, but what does lesbian sex like include? Like like we don't have the male attachments, so how do lesbians have sex?
Oh man.
Like if someone were to ask you that, like just like the different ways.
I mean, we have fingers, we have tongues, we have toys. So there's it could be a whole bunch, it could be a scenario or a variety of different things. I do know that scissoring is a thing for people. We've actually made fun of scissoring on this podcast before, and I guess we're gonna have to retract.
Words,
yeah,
huh? Yeah,
exactly. Because apparently, doing research on this podcast, we've learned that a lot of lesbians do scissor. Yeah, or trib. That was the new.
Yeah, I even had to learn the difference between scissoring and tribbing.
So what is the difference between scissoring and tribbing?
You would be the one to ask me that. I thought we agreed that you were going to be the one to ask that question.
Okay, yes. So apparently, guys, for those of you who are home, and I apologize if you're audio only because I'm about to make some hand signals you're not going to get to see, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm putting my two fingers together in scissor like, and scissors is literally like whenever you're basically
so I would say audio wise, like the middle's touch.
The middle's touch. Yeah.
The middle's touch.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah,
your legs are like intertwined.
It's like you're putting two scissors together.
Yeah,
very much so. Right.
And then the tribbing was
you're using any body part is the way that I was learning it as, is basically it could be you're using thighs, you're using just anything you're rubbing against
anything
something.
You're rubbing against, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Which there was when we were doing research, there was a big debate on which one's better. I honestly not sure because
I mean, everyone has their own paths when they have their moments with their partners. And unfortunately, me and Denise, like, we've had very different, sexual experiences growing up, but like neither one of us have had too much experience with the scissoring and the tribbing even being successful.
It never did anything for me. Yeah, it was never a success. Like, okay, it might work for her, and I've honestly never been sure if it worked for her, but now that I've seen other lesbians really do enjoy it, maybe it did work for her, and she wasn't lying to me, so...
See, I felt that too, but it's kind of like, was she just...
But it just never... I guess, obviously, guys, I do it wrong, because it never tickled my fancy.
No. But, everyone has their own cup of tea, so there's something out there for everybody. But, like, when it comes to lesbian sex, you got fingering, you got oral, there's the butt stuff out there. You said scissoring and trimming. Toys, especially. I know there's a huge thing around, like, the gay community with toys.
Yeah, we'll get into that,
We played with toys when we were younger. Why can't we play with toys when we're older?
Toys are fun, guys. If anyone hasn't experimented with toys, I don't care. I was about to say, I don't care if you're straight, gay, polka dot, doesn't matter. Pansexual, polysexual, omnisexual, doesn't matter.
Just give it a
try. Toys can be fun.
They can.
Doesn't matter what. Yeah.
There are so many different kinds of toys, guys.
Exactly.
Like, they range from every single part of your body. You could have a toy. It doesn't.
All right, so we're gonna go on a tangent here, and I'm glad that we're shooting this episode the way we are. But I just discovered on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it. You still have Netflix, right?
Yes. What show are you talking about?
Is it The Sex Room? Have you seen The Sex Room?
Oh my
god!
You won't let me watch it.
Why not? Wow.
I'm just like, I just want to see.
Yo,
guys, if you think I should convince my girlfriend to watch that show,
please comment.
Just comment down below. Like, let's get her. Like, because I've been trying to watch it, and she's like, no, we're not watching that. we can never decide on what we want to watch together.
Just put in Sex Room on the comments if you honestly think that Lindsay needs to convince you to let her watch it. I think you should watch it, bro. All right, so have you seen 50 Shades of Grey?
Of course.
Okay, so you obviously know about the Red Room, right?
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I referred it to, and I was like, babe, you don't want your own Red Room? And she was like, no.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, right
I'm
now.
just saying.
But
I want to see how other people build. I'm just curious. I just want to know.
Oh, I mean, most of these people know. They give this woman a room that they want to turn, that they have extra, right? She's like, this is my extra room or my extra dungeon or the basement or whatever, and we just want to do something with it. And we were just like, why not a sex room, right? So
why not?
Yeah. So this British lady comes in, and it has the beautiful accent with the big glasses, and she's like, this is what she was a big interior designer, and she's like, this is what I specialize in, right? And yeah, she sure does go in depth, because not only does she so they have to have a conversation on what they want with the room together, right? As a couple,
what the goals are,
exactly, yeah.
What's going to be done there.
Then she has to go into a conversation with them on what type of things they like to play with. So obviously,
it's a little personal.
It's more than what a normal interior designer goes into, right? So she actually goes into like their personal lives, what they do in the bedroom, and then on top of that, she will take it, incorporate it, and then incorporate what they kind of are also wanting to introduce, right? So this one couple did want to introduce a little bit of what did they call it? Pain play. Pain play, which is basically like the whips.
Self-describatory.
Yeah, I was about to say that very much 50 Shades of Grey, the whips and the floggers and everything. So she gets this couple a class where they learn the basics, which I didn't even know that you could go like to school for that.
Yeah, because I mean, there is a proper way to like whip somebody for pleasure.
Yes, I learned that recently
for just pain. Yeah.
Yes, which I used to. You haven't met her yet, but I used to know a older lesbian who definitely told me there's a way to spank a girl where you can use all your force and it won't hurt her. And I never believed. I never believed her. But I guess I can understand now. I guess if there's a technique.
There's something. I don't know.
All right. So sorry about that tangent. I just was excited about the sex rooms.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I've been trying to
we only watched the first episode. And then it got, it's very much a reality TV show where you're doing like HGTV, right? So that I can only watch that for a little while and then puts me to sleep. But still, it was very exciting. Recommended a little bit right now on Netflix. But back to our questions.
All right. I said we said why so we talked about lesbians using toys, but why would you say that lesbians do use toys other than, I mean, is there any other reason other than pleasure? Because that's what the toys are for. It's literally just a basic answer, pleasure.
If you guys honestly think that toys are only reserved for lesbians, I assure you there are plenty of straight women who prefer their toys to their man. I know a good amount of them. But toys are literally there for pleasure. And men, if there are any straight men watching this.
So I actually have a question for you guys. Why are y'all so afraid of the toys?
Right. It has to be the manhood thing. It's not an insult
to you.
No.
It's really not. Like, no one's saying that you can't perform the way that you want to perform. No one is saying that. It's just that different is sometimes good. And you change it up. You get kind of bored of the same thing over and over and over again. So, one night you do this, and one night you play with this toy, and then this toy, and then just you. And then this toy, and then this toy, and then you. And then toy, and then toy. Just switch it up a little bit. Like,
I got all that you need, right? You should just want to use me and this and
that's why they hide a vibrator in their underwear drawer.
And to be honest, guys, a lot of the I'm ashamed to say it, but a lot of the sex toys that get produced and everything that get built and everything, they're built by men. Like, usually men are the owners of a lot of these toys franchise, these porn franchise, these, adult sex toys. There's women too, don't get me wrong. But a lot of them are men. So a lot of these sex toys in the store are built for you as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've seen, God, we're going to get demonetized for this word, but I've seen a lot of rings.
Just leave it at rings.
Okay. C-rings.
Rings.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. And I've seen some that vibrate. And that's
not for the girl.
At all. That's for you guys. Yeah. A lot of the butt plugs are also for you guys.
Majority of them, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very much so targeted.
Women love them too. Yes. But, I mean, it's very... I feel like the butt plugs are very much unisex. Because it goes both ways. Everyone has a butthole.
Everybody poops.
Oh, God. Okay, the uncomfortableness. It's okay.
It's setting in.
But yeah, those are very much I would say universal. But even without that, sex toys can be fun. You have vibrators, things that that go. You have them both in dildo form and then the pocket rockets.
Yep. Yeah, like little travel size ones.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like the size of like a lip gloss container. Take them wherever you need to go.
Hey. Do you?
Yeah, also, to those men out there, if you ever happen to come across this, like, I don't know if you know, but women are just as horny, if not more, than you guys are.
Accurate.
So when you're like, why would you need a little travel size one? we need a travel size one.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can jack it in the restroom. It's not as easy for us to
Now it is.
sit there without any extra help.
Yeah. And so we got the vibrators and then pocket rockets. You got dildos, and then the dildos can be then used as strap-ons as well, where you then attach them to yourself to use on somebody else. We talked about plugs, and then you got the leather community out there as well. They're actually really big supporters of the LGBT.
Yeah, actually, that's how we started. That's how we were able to be out and proud. Is we way back when we were part of the fetish community,
of course,
right? Yeah. So because obviously heterosexual sex was the norm, still kind of is, but it was way more predominant back then. And doing any type of same-sex play was more like a fetish, just like bondages or just like pain play or any of those things.
Right.
So that's kind of where
it's all kind of different forms of
pleasure.
Yeah.
So we got introduced in the limelight in that way, and then kind of went crazy, and that's actually one of the reasons that when you're doing a pride parade or you see any type of LGBT big festival or anything, you see people in leather. That's because that's kind of where we got our start.
That makes sense.
A little bit of history there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so as we've gone through all of the lesbian or just in general sex topics, why do you think that's not taught in school? Because that's a question we get all the time: is how do lesbians have sex, right?
Yeah.
So
man, if I hear that one more time in public.
So why do you think it's not something that they cover?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, down here in the South, like in the school systems, there isn't even sex ed in general taught, much less lesbian sex ed or even just LGBTQ plus sex education. But in the states where that sex education is taught, they don't talk about like the gay side of sex.
You're right.
And that just because you're having sexual acts with someone of the same sex with you doesn't mean that you can't get diseases passed on from that. So it's very unfortunate that that's not being passed on, because people think that you can only get these diseases with penetration.
Yeah,
that's
true.
not the case whatsoever. No, and it is very important to have a protection when you are having sex with another female or another male, whoever your partner is. You should always use protection, especially if you don't know them all that too well.
Yeah, guys, for someone, because you're supposed to be 18 or older if you're watching this podcast. If you're younger than 18, get off right now.
Please.
But for those of you who didn't get any type of sex education or anything in school, and this is you're just kind of now starting out, I mean, let me tell you, safe sex is a thing. It doesn't, just because you're not penetrating doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen. Anytime you mix fluids, any type of fluids together, even kissing, things can obviously happen if there's certain bacteria. Yeah, I
mean, guys, we all just went through this huge global pandemic together.
Yes,
things
germs
can be
happen.
transmitted through the air. If you're more than 6 feet away from somebody, y'all are sharing germs. Can you imagine putting your mouths together then? Of course, things are being passed back and forth.
Yeah, very much so. Exactly. So that's why, that's why condoms are such a big thing, for especially if you have that type of attachment to your body, then condoms are a big thing. And then if you're just girls and you enjoy being with girls, sorry, I mean, you're still, fluid is still transmitting back and forth between you two. So there's always things like I guess dental dams.
Yeah, and that's since sex ed isn't taught, especially lesbian sex ed, you don't know what dental dams are. Did y'all know that there are condoms for lesbians?
Yeah, it's accurate.
There are. Yeah,
I didn't know either.
They're literally just like a little, almost like a sheet of rubber, I would say, and you just stretch it out and you use it as a little barrier between you and your partner. It can be used for like one night stands if you don't know your partner very well, or even if you are in a serious committed relationship and say like maybe she's on her period.
That's what doing this research, I was like, genius.
Mind
How is this? All right, babe, you are no longer allowed to say no.
Excuses anymore. Nope. It's go time every time.
There's no, I was about to say, there's no excuse. Like, no, I'm on my period. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna start bringing the dental dam out. I'm like, okay.
And camping, we go camping all the time. Like when you're camping, you obviously sometimes don't get to shower for a while, solid like 36 to 48 hours, and you're chopping wood. You're by the campfire, you're like foraging, you're living on your own means. And so things can get a little sticky, a little dirty.
A little sticky.
I don't know.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
Yeah, so you could use these dental dams to still have a little bit of fun while you're camping.
Understood. Yeah. No. Although a little bit of transparency for me and Lindsay, we're both in committed relationships, so it's not as a thing anymore. But to be completely honest, have you ever used a dental dam?
I never even knew what they were.
Me neither.
No.
I've never. And Lindsay said that whenever she was going to the store after obviously doing some research, you went to the.
I went to Kroger, and we actually just recently went to Walgreens.
Okay.
And we looked at their section as well. I can't find any. So these are just kind of hard to find. I think your best bet might be to go to a sex shop. We'll have to go to check them out ourselves. Yeah. We'll probably comment down below once we you want to take a field trip to the sex shop?
We're gonna take a field trip.
All right, but in the meantime, guys, like we did a little bit of research for y'all, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But if you can take an actual condom and just kind of cut it straight up the middle and then spread it out. Same thing.
Yes.
You can use let's say latex gloves.
Yeah, I've heard like surgical gloves, things like that. Yeah,
don't use like a Ziploc bag or saran wrap. Don't use anything that's not like used for medical grade or for sexual acts as well. So I'm trying so hard to get these words out.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But because those saran wrap or even the Ziploc can have like little microscopic holes that these diseases can slip their way through. So just make sure that it is a medical grade rubber, I guess, that you're using.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I guess we've covered a little bit of sex ed. We've covered the reason why we use toys or why toys are pretty awesome. So we're gonna give you some tips now on things that we've learned as we've progressed in the being out and lesbian and everything. But
maybe some advice to keep you guys from any embarrassments on your own terms.
Yeah, because I've had some of those.
They're rough.
Yeah,
but then again, they are essential to your personal growth.
Yes, accurate.
So we all fail, but that just means you do better next time.
Yeah, anytime that you get corrected, guys, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as a lesson, because those are good to learn. I promise they will save you later on in life. But before we get into the tips, I want to know, how did you learn about lesbian sex? Like how is that whenever you're like, okay, I have these feelings, I'm accepting them.
Well, see, you got to remember, I didn't accept those feelings until a girl kissed me, and then it led to more. Like, I didn't accept them until they were in my face.
Okay. But you had your first encounter, and then probably after that was I need to.
I think in middle school was like the part where I started realizing it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I started watching a whole lot of music videos that had a lot of females dancing in them.
Hey, okay.
And those then led, y'all know how these YouTube channels work. You just stream, and then you go down a rabbit hole that leads to a completely different thing.
Rabbit holes.
Before you know it, I'm watching two girls kiss on screen, and I'm just like, wow, this is I've started watching off just, I don't even remember, just regular pop music videos, and then 3 hours later.
Any artists, like any specific artists that you remember that you're like, oh?
I think I watched a lot of Katy Perry, a lot of Lady Gaga.
Okay, yeah. Classics.
Yeah.
Classics. Got you.
Of course. Yeah, it was just their music, like just the, I don't know, the different aspect in their music videos. It just kind of took me aback that I was just like, it was always I just wanted to be their friend. Like, I always want to be friends with these girls. Yeah. I wanted to be more than friends.
I was about to say,
that was all that my little mind could process at that time was, I just really need to be best friends with that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
it was mostly YouTube videos. And then whenever I started to realize, whenever I was 18, 19, then I started to, I kind of turned to porn for
Okay,
a little
accurate.
bit. Yeah,
That's
just
what
trying to
most
get
people
some,
do.
just some information on it.
Boys,
and then
girls, straight or
I
gay.
found that was just horrible advice.
It is.
It's not realistic.
Let me be honest with you guys who are out there and your little baby dykes, and you're searching for maybe some tips or some ways to do it and things like that. If you do decide to search in the porn industry, I want you to be aware that most porn videos are directed or created, produced, whatever, by men, for men, and men love girl on girl. So if you see anything that involves a very, she has her hair down and it's really long, she has a full thing of makeup, and the fingernails are like this long, that is not for you. That is for a guy to imagine what girl on girl would be. Sex. Exactly. No. That is, if she has nails, it's not working.
No, it doesn't work like that. The hair down? No.
No, I actually put you obviously don't have that issue anymore.
But
well. But I put my hair up just about every single time. That's how Sam knows. Like, she's like, oh, the hair's going up.
The hair gets in the way. There's no such thing as going down on a girl and you're just holding your hair back while you're down there. No, that's not a thing. You have the hair up so you can use both hands and you're in there.
Exactly. So you see anything with long nails, her hair's down, full face of makeup, probably not accurate. So I would caution you on using porn. I do know they do have actual lesbian porn out there, but you gotta find it, and it's not as pretty as you think it is.
Because it's not like produced and choreographed in a sense, and no.
So you just
I mean, honestly, guys, our best advice is just going to be to learn from experience.
Yep.
If it's your first time having lesbian sex, you're going to suck. I don't care how much research you've done, how much porn you've watched.
Accurate.
Nothing. How many videos? Nothing. No, you're going to be bad. But so is she.
Yes. And you have a leg up on most men, because what's nice about being in any type of same-sex relationship is you have those parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my biggest advice is if you don't know what you're doing, you have no idea what's happening, is start experimenting or start learning about the body parts you have, and feeling what obviously feels good to you, and replicate that with someone else. However, they're not always going to enjoy what you enjoy, but it gives you a good baseline.
Yeah, you just figure out where everything is.
Exactly.
Because the worst thing you could do is go into the wrong hole.
So yes, accurate.
Just go ahead and avoid all that embarrassment and familiarize yourself with your own parts, because they're going to be fairly similar to your partner's parts.
Okay, so you did mostly YouTube searches and porn, which I'm hoping YouTube searches, if you're doing YouTube, maybe will come up now. So we'll see. YouTube searches might work now. For me, I didn't have YouTube back then. YouTube didn't exist. Yeah.
You know how much I love to remind you.
Yes. So YouTube didn't exist. The internet was very brand new when I was a teenager. So I mostly had music videos, right? I did the music video thing. And then I had porn as well, but I mostly learned about toys from a little show called Room Raiders. And from MTV. MTV had a beautiful reality show where a little cringy now, but basically it's a dating show where you have 3 contestants and then someone of the opposite sex, or in this case it was the same sex, because that's what drew me to it. It was a lesbian edition.
It was a lesbian edition. Wow.
Yes. Thank you, MTV, even back then. But but anyway, so the main contestant who has to pick the dates goes into they drag the 3 contestants who are deciding or gonna get picked. They drag them out just out of the some random day, leave their room exactly as is, and then the person who's picking gets to go into their room for however long of a time and pick at their room, and then learn about them, and then they get to pick the date based on the room.
Right. So they never get to meet the people before the date, but they get to judge you based on your room.
Exactly.
I would not do well with that show.
Me neither. I'm a messy ass motherfucker. But anyway, that's where I learned where Pocket Rockets was, because I remember this one girl, she, I guess, left her purse out or whatever, and the girl decides to go in her purse because, sorry, a girl's life is in her purse, typically, a
Really
femme's
are.
life, especially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she found a pocket rocket, and I was like, what is that? And then, you know, the
Yeah.
wong, 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 like, it just, I was like,
Yeah.
lesbian.
Wow.
The radar came out.
Man. Yeah.
So I guess we'll go into the tips
now. Yeah.
Tips of our things that we've learned along the way, guys.
This long journey we've been going along here, still going. But I think we'll start with tip number 1. Most important thing, guys, a lot of lesbian sex has to do with your hands, because we don't have those attachments that just hook together like they're supposed to, quotations around that. But so you want to make sure your hands are clean. You want to make sure that they're very well taken care of.
Yes.
But that also means your nails. Y'all, your fingernails get so dirty. Anything you touch, anything, when you scrape your hand across, you're just at normal day-to-day life, flipping through pages at work, whatever it is that you're doing, all that dirt just gets packed underneath your fingernails. And the longer your nails are, the more dirt they're going to hold. So you just want to make sure you scrub. And if anything, guys, it's okay to just take a second. Things are getting kind of hot and heavy. Just be like, hey, I got to just wash my hands real quick. I was dealing with, Denise's case. You were cutting peppers for dinner or something.
Damn,
anything you've touched throughout the day is on your hands. So just a little quick wash. And then also that would be keeping your nails fairly short.
Accurate.
And smooth. You don't want any jagged edges, especially if you do plan on a little bit of penetration with your fingers.
Yeah.
Jagged nails or even long nails can catch the lining on the inside, and getting cut inside there is not the best feeling in the world. It is quite painful, and it will put an immediate end to your night. Because tap out instantly. Like, it's not a good feeling.
Tap out.
Yeah, like done. Get them out of there. We're going to bed.
So good.
Yeah, so just make sure your nails are like nice and clean. No sharp edges, no jaggedness here and there. File them down. This is just also just a little bit of personal hygiene.
Yeah, no, accurate, guys. To be honest, I mean, I've been out and proud for over a decade, and having nice hands. I didn't realize this until probably around 26, 27, but apparently there's a lot of lesbian femmes out there that actually look at your hands before they even decide to hit on you or go out with you or accept a date.
So I'm a lesbian STEM, and I will look at hands too.
Really?
If you don't, there's no way I'm letting you near me if you got some dirty hands. No. I just didn't think I didn't understand it until I got hit on at the bar because of my hands one time. And so apparently, if you're out there and you're gonna mess with girls, make sure you have nice clean hands. I will just give that as a beautiful tip. But back to the pepper story. Yeah, you want to make sure that they're clean no matter what you're doing. I made the mistake of cutting peppers one time, jalapeno peppers. I was cooking and everything like that, and things get hot and heavy when your woman's in the kitchen. So.
Yeah, I was cooking, and I think something happened, and then I had her come up to me. We started kissing and everything, and things got carried away, and I just didn't think about it whatsoever until like we're about 10 minutes in, and she's like,
something feels weird.
Yeah, something's happening. What's wrong? And then we still didn't know. She's like, it's burning. And I'm like, I just got jalapenos. I'm so sorry. And obviously a shower was needed and everything, and it completely killed the mood. So do not make my mistake.
Like we're talking, dirty hands will put an immediate end to your night.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Nothing is a worse buzzkill.
Yes. And for those of you who are cooking peppers or doing anything with peppers, one hand wash is not going to do the trick. You need to make sure those things are scrubbed. Just throwing that out there.
Like pour some milk over
basically
them. Break down the
or if you're a lesbian, maybe it'd be a good thing to invest in that stainless steel ball. Have you seen that, where it gets rid of apparently it gets rid of, or maybe that's onions. I think it gets rid of the onion smell. I wonder what it does with peppers. But yeah, it's like it's not a bar of soap. Obviously it's not soap, but it looks like a bar of soap, but it's metal, and you use it to take the onions away. right? So that way you're not crying.
You're not getting it in your face.
So I wonder if it works for
the
jalapenos.
same thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know, guys, but yeah, keep your hands clean.
Yeah.
Tip 1.
Yeah.
Tip
more of that story there.
Please do. Same thing, no jewelry. I'm a big fan of rings, big, thick silver rings.
Just in the way.
Yeah, very much so. So typically especially when, God, cringy single stories. When I was single, I used to only wear rings on my pinky and my,
your ring fingers.
Yeah, because I used to keep these clear. I would keep my first and my middle clear. Oh, shut up.
Very cringy.
Yeah. But you never knew.
I mean, that's almost just as obvious as like the long pinky nail.
What? The long pinky nail? What's the long pinky nail? Explain. The pinky
long
nail.
Pinky nail.
Okay, all right. The pinky nail.
It's pretty obvious what you're doing with those other two
I
fingers.
mean, to maybe to gay girls, but yeah, straight girls would have no idea. Okay, either way, yeah. But I would keep them clear just because you never know. I never.
It could be very so in the moment.
That or more of it knowing myself, and I lose everything. So if I'm taking the rings off, I'm probably not going to see them again. So I like my rings. I try to keep them on. The reason I have them now is I have a wife. So if I take them off in the house, they're in the house somewhere. So that's fine. She'll find them. We're going to figure it out. But yeah, so that was tip 1. Tip 2, for 2 women, I will say this is very important. You got to make sure she's turned on first. This goes for women and men. Guys, before you just go deep in, you got to make sure that
she's ready.
Yes.
Like there's a whole warm-up process. You got to rev up the engine a little bit.
Exactly.
Like,
you got to preheat the oven before you stick in the turkey. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
Yeah, you've never heard that one? Okay, I must
one.
be old. But yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. You preheat the oven before you stick in that turkey. Because, women's bodies, we'll tell you when we're ready. We'll tell you when we want more, typically.
This is going to be a rough one.
Yeah, but, accurate.
Okay. So when you make sure she's turned on first, like another thing that then ties into one of the other things that we said earlier in this podcast, like a quick, easy way to turn someone on was with some foreplay. And when you're in the same-sex relationship, the quickest way to learn how to turn someone with foreplay would be to practice on yourself.
Accurate. You want to familiarize yourself with that area.
Yeah. So like a lot of clitoral play is how you are quickly able to turn a girl on, or even before you even get all the way down there, because guys, it can get a little dry down there, and if you're just rubbing on the outside, it hurts. Yeah. Like it just kind of sticks, and your fingers are really dry, and it just absorbs all the moisture that's even down there.
Pressure is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize that, especially when you see, unfortunately, porn clips, or you even see even movie clips. I would say like they go down there, you see a lot of fast movement, you see a lot of intense things, and that might be accurate, but more I would say towards the end of the interaction. At the beginning of the interaction, you want to be very gentle.
Yeah,
you want to be very the pressure, you want to keep it very light. That was one of my biggest mistakes when I was learning.
Just going ham.
Just go, because I had no idea, right? Yeah, I was like, it's a thing. I don't know how much pressure to put on someone else and things like that. So yeah, it took a woman to tell me. Actually, she corrected me twice. Very embarrassing, but I'm glad she did it.
Twice.
Yeah, she corrected me twice. She was like, she's rough. Like, that's too much pressure. And then I continued, and obviously things got heated, so I got a little bit more excited. And then she stopped me, and she's like, this is not going to help me finish.
No.
And I'm like,
it's just gonna, if anything, it makes the process longer.
Exactly.
And the girl's gonna get frustrated and almost even end up to her not getting there at all.
Exactly.
So I mean, I would say a good thing of advice for me would be to start from the top and kind of work your way down.
Okay.
Because you can turn on a girl just as much from up here in this general, the neck, accurate. This general area here, as much as you can turn her on from down below too. True.
So I mean, familiarize yourself with that. just the area, what you like, what's too much pressure for you, what might be, because even the sensitive level is very different for different women. There's certain women who were very sensitive, and even just the slight touch is gonna be a little bit overstimulating.
Right.
And then there's other certain women who you can, basically go a little crazy on it, and they're fine.
And then just ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the best way to ask too, and then actually bring us into tip number 2 is just to ask questions. So when you are getting kind of hot and heavy with your partner, things start getting there, just don't be afraid to ask them what they like. Just like, hey, does it feel good here? Or just, more or less pressure. Am I moving too fast for you? Guys, the biggest thing would be also consent too. So when things do start getting to that point, just go ahead and ask them, like, are you okay with moving forward? Like, do you want to proceed? Is it okay if we do this? There's nothing wrong with asking for consent. If anything, that's actually the only way to do it. If you don't have consent, you don't do it at all.
Yeah, it's necessary.
And when you have that personal connection with your partner, it just makes it it makes the experience just a lot more pleasurable too.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that there's certain women out there that think asking is a little bit cheesy, but I promise you, for those women who are out there, you would rather them ask than not ask when you're not into it. So, I mean, asking is a big thing. Plus, you're checking in, and that's good. That's good for anyone to be like, hey, is this okay? Does this feel good? Because if it doesn't, then that's your opportunity to be honest. Be like, maybe a little to the left, or maybe a little bit lighter pressure, or maybe heavier pressure, whatever.
Yeah, and if you are the person being asked, be honest, guys, because one, it's going to benefit you, but two, it'll benefit them too, for future encounters, or even if they, you guys part ways and they go on to other partners, you gave them a little bit of information to help out their other partners too. Just because you had a bad experience, go ahead and help out the girls that may be next in line, so they don't have that rough experience as well.
Exactly. Like, everyone's different. And just like Lindsay said before, when you first start having sex, you're going to be bad at it. It's true. So getting any type of feedback from your partner, getting any type of tips, learning things that you like on top of, versus what they like. I mean, those things are going to help you out. They're going to be really good lessons for you, especially in the future. Because it took me a while before it was something that was pleasurable for the other partner, no matter what I did with me. I mean, again, I'm very different from other women, so it really depends.
Right.
But yeah, so we got clean hands. We got make sure she's turned on first. If it ain't wet, don't finger it.
That's it right
there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I guess our 4th tip would probably be the safe sex area.
I mean, we briefly touched on it before, guys, but that's how important it is.
Yeah.
And that's how little that it's taught, that we're going to say it twice. Just because you are having sexual relations with the same-sex partner doesn't mean that you are protected from any diseases out there. So use dental dams. If you can't find dental dams, use condoms. Cut them right up the middle. If you can't find those, go to the store and buy some medical-grade gloves. Cut those up, and bam, you got yourself a nice little barricade, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need, guys.
No,
it's really easy to avoid almost a lifetime of repercussions.
Accurate, because to be honest, sex is great and all, but there are some risks you're taking, and for those people who actually have to endure the consequences of any type of venereal disease, STD, or something big, most of them would say they wished that they had any type of safe sex to kind of prevent
just what
any of that happening. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of this is just lack of education. Oh, and speaking of, we forgot to mention this one earlier. Guys, like, just because you have toys doesn't mean those toys aren't safe from carrying disease from partner to partner.
Accurate.
Say, you're living that single life. You're being a little bit of a playboy. You do you. We're not judging over here. We're all out here just living our best lives. But you can do some serious damage by using the same toys with multiple partners. An easy way to do that is just to cover up your toys. You got yourself a dildo, get a condom. It's used for the real thing, so why can't it be used for the silicone thing? So slap it on there.
as someone who's been having sex, I guess, in the lesbian community for over a decade, I don't recommend using the same toys with different people. I really don't.
It's a little cringeworthy.
It is. It is very much so. However, I will make this disclaimer. There has been times where the person on the other end requested a toy, and I had only had toys that I had used on maybe in a prior commitment, a prior girl, whatever. So yeah, I sure did pull out that condom. That was the only time I've ever really used one. Is I pulled out the condom, I covered it up, and it worked. It worked really well.
Yeah, and you could in a sense save lives actually.
Hey, okay.
So just something super simple. So yeah, we'll just brush over that real quick since we already talked over that. But probably the fifth, and for me, this was drilled into me as a kid. So this is the most important tip for me, is after everything is said and done, you did the deed, you had a blast, you're feeling great, go pee.
Just go pee.
Just get up. I know the legs are shaking. It's a little hard to walk. You're gonna be all right. Just plop down on that toilet. You could sit there for 10-15 minutes. I don't care how long. Just get on that toilet and you pee. And then you clean yourself up real good. Hop in the shower if you feel like you need it. But just make sure we're all just spick and span down there, because that's just a nice and easy way to prevent any bacterial buildup.
It was drilled into you like early on.
Like my mom was just always just like because safe sex wasn't taught in the schools, so my mom made sure we knew about safe sex, which I praise her for that, because that was a lesson I definitely
all her
needed
girls.
To know. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, we knew what was up with that, and she always said after you get done having sex, go to the bathroom, and you have to pee. Like, you actually have to pass fluid through, because that helps flush out any bacteria that may have gotten shoved up there during these acts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
If there's a gynecologist out there who wants to like give us more tips or things that we need
this is
to
all
relay,
just like, you know,
this is just things that we were taught when we were coming up or have found out by ourselves. But yeah, if there's a proper way to do aftercare, please let me know.
Yeah, because all I know is, just pass some fluids through, wipe it up. If you feel really dirty for whatever reason, it's not my business, but feel free to shower.
I think that's in the straight and gay community too. I'm pretty sure that even after like heterosexual sex, same thing. They go to the restroom, that was just
like my mom had these conversations with us before I came out.
Okay.
So this was
thinking about
making
sure. Yeah, no, that's something that a lot of women do. I gotta attest to. Yeah. Oh man. Well,
I think that
the sex episode
sums it up. We did pretty good.
I will say
there
too.
Was
yeah,
maybe like three top moments where we broke down a little bit there.
Yeah, guys, this is obviously a little bit uncomfortable for us, but it seems like something that you guys really want to see more. So if
and it's exactly what we're here for, guys, is to produce the content that you guys want to see, the stuff that you want to learn.
So if there's anything that you want to go into specific, or us to go into specific,
she's regretting that the second she said it. I am. But we mean it, guys. We mean it.
But go ahead and put in the comments what you would like to learn, and we'll do our best.
Our very best. We do have to match some, guidelines.
Yeah, YouTube. There's certain words we're not supposed to be saying.
I think we pushed the border.
We did
with this episode here.
Yeah, no, definitely not getting monetized for this one.
That's all right. That's all right, because we're not doing that. Yeah. We're not doing this for any other reason, just to get the information out to you guys.
Exactly. We want to educate everyone out there, because I went into the lesbian world with only having straight friends and not having any, like, this social media was very new. Facebook had just came out when I was an adult. I was 18 when I got my first Facebook. So it just you be nice.
I think I was in 5th grade.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it had no frame of reference, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions that you guys have out there now too. So if there's anything that you would like us to cover, I want to be the person who I didn't have when I was younger. So we'll
that's
cover
a good
it.
way to say it. I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, my favorite part of the podcast.
Our favorite part. She's excluding me over here. Same. Anyways. I was the one who found this story.
She did. She found the story.
All right. So we're going back to y'all know we love these BuzzFeed articles.
We do.
But we are still waiting for our inbox to start blowing up with y'all's coming out stories. So we're gonna post all that information down below. But let's go ahead and jump into this BuzzFeed article. Am I reading it, Denise, or are you?
Oh no, you were. I thought I was reacting.
Yeah, I didn't have a. Give me your mouse.
Oh, give me. Yeah, there you go. Apologies. Yeah,
we have so many computer screens, guys. It's wild.
I think they can see them in the back. Maybe I don't know.
Couple of them.
Okay.
All right. So this post on the BuzzFeed article, and this article, we've been doing a lot of coming out stories from like a younger point of view. So I thought I'd switch it up, and we're gonna do a couple of coming out stories from someone who didn't come out till later on in life, and so at least like adulthood.
Beautiful.
So this one is by Michael Karen 1. It's actually the second story on this article, and we will go ahead and post a link down below. But let's start here. I came out at 30 years old, and it was a long process discovering who I really was. I'm Italian and live in quite a conservative area, and like most LGBTQ people growing up, I always knew I was gay.
Yes.
I know, it's something that just sits in the back of your mind.
Yeah, just always a question.
We understand. We understand. Okay. Yep. I just read that. My relationships with women were such a mess, and I drowned in guilt, but I didn't want to keep lying to them. I kept repeating to myself, "You're bi. Don't be afraid. Tell them." But fear and expectations put me in a limbo. I was working in Venice, and I fell deeply in love with a man. It was like a movie. We kissed around Venice, but we tried to keep it a secret because he was a coworker of mine, and it's a little scandalous.
Oh, yeah. Not only a coworker, also same sex. Okay,
exactly. Okay. He ended up breaking my heart. I will throw a little side note here. A lot of us jumping into the gay world tend to have our hearts broken right off the bat.
Yeah.
Don't let it discourage you. There's more coming around the corner.
It's a good thing. It's training. Okay.
He ended up breaking my heart, and I was devastated. But I couldn't act like something happened. So I eventually sat down with my parents, held their hands, and told them I was gay. It was really perfect. My father told me, "So what?" in a kind way, and my mother hugged me so hard I swear I can still feel it.
Oh.
My friends gave me so much love and support, and now I can finally live my life and be who I really am and not be ashamed. Fear does not own my body anymore. I regret not coming out sooner, but evidently this was meant to be. I couldn't be happier.
Hey, Michael. Michael, carry on one. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. No, beautiful. I just gotta. I don't know. This is probably for other people too who aren't in the LGBT community, but I think it's mostly heavy in the LGBT community where there's times where you have the secret relationship, you fall head over heels, you feel like you've met the love of your life. Obviously, secret relationship, you can't tell anyone, right? And then things happen, it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you get heartbroken, and just
you still can't
tell anyone whatsoever.
Gosh, and you just never feel so alone.
Oh, definitely. Whenever you didn't go through any type of heartbreaks until you were already out, right? Like with your whenever you got same sex. Nice. Yeah, no, there was a time where I was going through hardships with my significant other. I was in high school, we were closeted, no one knew, and I remember at the time my best friend was having some type of guy troubles, and I don't know, they broke up, she was heartbroken and everything, and she's throwing up her heart in this thing, and I'm at the same time crushed in my everything is crushed in my body, and anxiety crazy, and I can't relate or say anything to her, and she has no idea, and that sucks being in that type of situation. So I feel you.
Yeah, that's really awful, but man, like there's one thing something about being at almost that rock bottom situation.
Yeah.
Where the only way you have is to go up. So this man looks like he felt so alone that he felt no other choice but to tell his parents. And because of that heartbreak, he then came out to seek help. And now he's happier than ever. He's living an out and proud life.
Good shit.
Look, guys, there's always a rainbow at the end of the rain. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
I like
Things
it.
may seem really dark and really scary right now, but man, you're going to look back at this like 3, 4, 5 years from now, and you're gonna be like, wow, like I'm so glad I went through all of that pain, because where I'm at now I could have never been before.
Oh, good. So what would you, now that you've lived through it, whenever young Lindsay first got heartbroken, she first got, that whole disaster happened, what advice would you have given her?
I would have told her to seek out friends faster than she did.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I felt like I was more embarrassed about the heartbreak.
Yeah.
So, like, and that's the thing, like, if someone really hurts you, you almost feel embarrassed about it. Like, you gave them your heart and your soul, and they just kind of threw it away, and they didn't really care about you.
Yeah.
So you're just like, wow, that was a blow to the chest. Like, I'm a little bit embarrassed. So you just kind of push yourself away from your friends when, in reality, your friends are the ones who are going to pick you back up from that situation.
Yeah,
and,
accurate.
like, I could have made that whole situation last probably about half as long as it did if I had reached out for help a little bit sooner.
Okay, I can understand that. If you're going through a heartbreak right now, though, I'm just gonna throw that out there. No matter how hard how heartbreak is, it's always gonna be hard. Like, no matter, like,
It's always gonna hurt.
no matter what you're thinking right now, because you're hurting, and you're like, I wish he wasn't. I wish the breakup was easier. If I hated him, it would be so much easier. I hated her, it would be so much easier. Or I can't believe I stayed with it. I mean, no matter what, if you hate the person or if you don't after the breakup happens, it's equally hard. Because if you don't hate them, because I don't know, maybe y'all broke up for simple, your parents weren't letting you be together, or maybe they moved to college, or across the nation,
for whatever reason. It was just a mutual breakup.
It was a mutual, and you're like, God, it would be so much easier if, I hated them.
You didn't love them still.
You say that, but then the people who do end up like, I can't believe someone like this. I can't believe I even dated them in the first place. If you do hate them, right? So no matter what, the breakup's always going to be hard.
The grass is always greener on the other side, but I promise it's just as brown as on both.
Everyone,
yeah.
Like, if heartbreaks hurt.
Either way, it's gonna suck.
Yep.
But the best way to get through it, in my opinion, is like I said, to surround yourself with some positive people. And like, I had friends in that situation that I could go and hang out with. Like, I know you and your wife were a big supporter whenever I was going through that breakup of mine. So
I was gonna slash some tires. It was fine.
Yeah. We were gonna do quite a few things, but we didn't go to jail, so that's all that matters.
No, don't slash tires.
Don't do it. It's not recommended. No. We laughed
didn't.
about it, but we didn't do it because we don't. Yeah,
don't go to jail.
Law. No, we're not doing that.
Not worth it. No one's worth that.
No one's worth that. No. If anything, you're going to feel better just prospering versus going backwards, doing something stupid that could get you in trouble with the law, or, getting a better career, buying a car that you can afford, just whatever thing's stopping your bad habits, like whatever it is to make yourself healthier, that puts you it's a little win over the person who may have broke your heart.
Men might not be this way, so I can't speak for them, but speaking for as a woman, for anyone who is being broken up with, or you just broke up with someone or whatever, and like, you think that, maybe getting back at them would be like you getting with someone else. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that'll be getting back at them if they're like extremely jealous, but no, I promise you, the best payback that you could ever have with a breakup where, they're like, damn, I can't believe I let them go, is if you live your life and are the happiest person. Like, if you do what makes you happy, and you live your life to the way you want to, and you enjoy your friends, or things like that. You just make sure to be happy. If you are happy without them, I promise you, that's the best payback.
That's it right there. Yeah. Oh man, there's nothing that'll just put you up there more.
Because as an ex, don't you hate to see your ex happy?
Yeah.
Like, everyone, everyone hates to see their ex happy.
Of course. Yeah. So be that ex that's happy.
Exactly.
There you go. Probably the best advice today.
Yeah, but okay. So guys, that concludes the end of our episode. So if you found any type of value to this episode, if you really liked what you saw, if you want to give us some advice on what type of topics to speak about next.
If you guys have any questions, and most importantly, if you guys want to send us your coming out stories,
please.
Or, let's change it up a little bit, because, maybe a lot of our viewers haven't come out yet.
Oh, yeah.
That is,
that's probably the demographic,
How would you like to come out?
Yeah.
What's your dream fantasy about coming out? Is it in front of, like, a whole stadium full of people? You got 1 billion people watching you, and I'm gay. Woo!
Oh, wow.
Or is it just with your friends and family in a nice, small, homey setting. Like whatever it is, guys, like we want to know what's your dream coming out.
Yeah, please tell us, because I recently saw a TikTok where it was two people who I guess at the prom there's this stage where the girl and the guy meet, and they take a picture on stage together, in front of everybody. And that was apparently how this lesbian couple came out, is you had the girl in the tux and the girl in the dress come up, and they linked arms, and that's how they came out. And they're like, all right,
that's
we're
amazing.
Together.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm talking about. Like some kind of superstar coming out. What's your dream
Red
to come
carpet.
out, guys? Yeah, and if you want, you can comment it down below. You link your name to it, or if you want to stay anonymous, or even if you just want to keep it a surprise to all of our viewers, you can email at us, borngaypodcast@gmail.com. Me and Denise are the only people who read that email. So
Accurate.
if you do want to read or stay anonymous, just go ahead and type anonymous in the name, and we won't say your name out there.
True.
But yeah, we are looking forward to hearing you guys' stories or even you guys' dreams. Any questions y'all have, you can shoot them our way, leave them down in the comments, or email us, and we'll include that down below as well.
Yeah, guys. So please, like I said before, if you found value, if you like this, you want to see more, please smash that like button. Please do. It really helps out.
Blue.
Yes,
Just
it helps out the YouTube algorithm, which really helps getting our message out and everyone. So,
And also, we're humans too. We like a little bit of positive feedback now and again.
I am insecure like a motherfucker. So please just feed my ego just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit. A little treat here and there.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to our channel so you obviously know when new episodes come out. And then don't be afraid to comment.
And we're gonna be here for you guys. Yeah. But I guess we'll see you guys next time then.
Yeah, guys. So with that being said, I'm Denise.
And I'm Lindsay. And we're Born This Gay. See y'all next time.